Hello everyone, this is Cody Nickel with Work Grow Thrive. Welcome to my channel. The purpose is to deliver you with top insights and give you top tips on how to thrive and reach your potential in the workplace. And today I'm going to talk with you on the topic of how to get the best results all the time. How to get the best results all the time. And in order to do this, we're going to take a deep dive into something called the Pareto principle. And what this says in brief is that 80% of the results, your top results, are really generated through 20% of your tasks, of your efforts. And where did this come from? Of course, from Mr. Vilfredo Pareto himself. He was an engineer and an economist who lived in the mid to late 1800s. And when he was conducting his research, he realized that only 20% of the Italian population owned 80% of the land. And throughout the decades, this 80-20 rule, although it's not always exactly 80-20, but it gives the statistical direction, this has been discovered almost like a natural law in other areas. So for example, in IT, 20% of the bugs will cause 80% of the errors. In sales, 20% of the customers are responsible for generating 80% of revenues. Even at work with employees, you have a top 20% of employees usually who generate 80% of the results, of your key results. And so the question is, how can we apply this Pareto principle in our work situation so that we can get the best results all the time? And to answer this question, we have to ask ourselves three easy questions. It's a little handle I would like to give you. And that's what are we doing? When are we doing it? And how are we doing it? So let's get to the first question, what? Consider all the tasks that you need to do to get your job done. And if you analyze it, you'll probably see that only 20% of those tasks are really critical tasks that contribute to 80% of the results. So in my case, I'm an organizational psychologist and I work in talent acquisition. For me, the main thing is to make sure that my clients are doing okay. I'm taking care of my clients and I'm taking care of candidates. The ones I'm trying to convince to work in a particular job. I have to make sure that they're doing okay. They always know what's going on. Their needs are being met. And everything else is, of course, important, but it's secondary. So what do you do with the rest of the tasks that need to be done so that you can focus more on this top 20% that bring you or that drive the 80% of your results? Well, there are three things. You can either eliminate these tasks, you can delegate these tasks, or you can automate these tasks. So let's take my situation as an example. After talking with my manager, we decided to hire an intern. And so a lot of the tasks that I don't really need to be doing but are important, I was able to delegate them to the intern. This was really a wonderful solution. Then I could focus more on, the tasks that really bring me my revenue. Another thing you can do is eliminate the tasks. When I worked in my first job, part of the work process included writing a very thorough report about the candidate. And this took a lot of time. And to be honest, the clients didn't really care so much. They never read it through. So in my second job, when I was responsible for engineering the processes myself, I just eliminated this part. No more reports. We just talked to the client directly, and this was the most effective. Another thing you can do is automate tasks, especially with the rise of artificial intelligence supported tools. For example, data entry. Could you use a tool to automatically input your data? What I do, this isn't full automation, but eventually candidates are asking me and clients are asking me the same questions. And so what I've done is I've created templates, and I can quickly, take a template, plop it in an email, adjust it a little bit, and then I save a ton of time and I can move on to, my more critical tasks. So we're working with automation. So that answers the question, what? What are the key tasks that drive your results, and how can you spend more time focusing on these tasks? Now we come to the question when. When should you carry out certain tasks so that you generate the best results, the highest quality work, and can save the most time? To answer this question, it's helpful to know our body's natural cycles. Our body has ultradian rhythms, and these are cycles from about 90 to 120 minutes in which our bodies move from a high energy state gradually to a low energy state. And of course, then you want to take a break, or before reaching that low point, you want to eat a healthy snack so that you get, an energy boost again and your body can recover some. But when you are at your highest energy, and this is different for different people. Some of us really are very productive directly, first thing in the morning. For others, it's in the afternoon. Others are night owls. But when you are at your highest peak regarding your energy, then schedule those tasks that require the most concentration, the most focus, and the most creativity. And when you conduct these tasks at such a time, your quality, the results will be better. And then when you're moving down and you're, hitting the low energy area of time of the day, then you can schedule tasks that don't, require so much concentration. So one tool that I use to help me with this, it's called time blocking. So pretty much what you want to do is just schedule times when you want to carry out particular tasks. Know what you want to do and when you want to do it. Put it in your calendar, in your online calendar, so that you don't, lose track, and you can work in a very focused and concentrated way. Another thing I consider is bundling tasks. So for example, don't just answer the emails as they trickle in. You're working on something, then an email pops up, and then, you stop what you're doing, you answer the email, and then you try to get back to what you're doing. That is a really inefficient use of your time. Tasks that are the same or similar in nature, bundle them and finish them, carry them out in one block. So set, 1 or 2 times a day when you answer all of your emails all at once. If you think about it, think about the energy wasted, or the energy you need to switch between tasks. You just waste a lot of cognitive resources with switching. So if you bundle these kind of tasks, then also you won't get as tired as quickly. And so that answers the question of when. And so now let's come to to answer the question of how. How do you carry out your tasks? You want to consider, how can I carry out this task in a way that is most efficient, most effective, and brings me the best results? So for example, in sports, right, you might face an opponent who's bigger, who's stronger, but if your technique is superior, is better, then you will win almost every time. So this is a question of, how do I conduct this task methodically? Don't just carry out tasks randomly just to get them done, but think critically about how am I doing this? Is this really the best way? Is this really a way that will, have the best output with the minimum effort? So for me, of course, I have to contact potential candidates. And what one strategy is you can use the same message and then contact as many as you can using the same message. But the thing is, when people receive these messages, they're not very impressed. They know you didn't spend time to really consider their profile and consider what their needs are, and they probably won't respond. Another strategy is to completely personalize every message 100%. This is of course nice, and it takes a lot of time to do this, but what we've noticed is at the end of the day, if you're contacting a small group and none of them are interested, they're all okay, then you're still not going to gain the candidates you need to present to the client. And so I realized, okay, we need some more variety. So for us in our situation, the most effective way to do this is to have a standardized message with some elements that are personalized. And this way we get the best results. Candidates realize we have interest, a real genuine interest in their profile. And at the same time, we have enough candidates that we can choose from. And most of us in our jobs, we have to answer emails. So consider, how am I answering an email? We know that, using one email to handle one topic is the most effective. If you have multiple things in your email that you're trying to communicate, then the person receiving uh, won't have really the desire. They just won't feel like making their way through your entire message to get the information they need. It's hard to understand. So, for example, when writing an email, just address one topic at a time. After every few sentences, use some space, use a lot of space. That makes it easier to read. Use bullet points, when you're summarizing information. This helps the other person to comprehend more quickly what you're writing. And in this way, you don't go back and forth, losing time, trying to gain clarity because you're so clear from the beginning, right? Another thing you can consider is it most effective even to use an email, or is it better right now, the topic might be complex, just to give a phone call or go directly to the other person and clarify it face to face. Consider all these things. Consider your technique, your method. Go about these tasks methodically in the best way, so that ultimately you have the best results. So now, just a short review. We answered the questions. What are the top 20% of your tasks that drive 80% of your results? When should you do these tasks so that you generate the best results? And how should you do them so that the quality is the best? And if you constantly practice this and apply this Pareto principle, you will save time. You will have more time, right? Because you're very efficient and effective with your time. Your work quality will be better, and you'll have more time for the things that you really care about. You also won't be as tired and worn out at the end of your workday. So thanks for watching this video. If you would like more content, please come back to the channel. I have to mention at the bottom of this video, I'll put a link to the article from my blog, Work, Grow, Thrive. If you would like to, gain an even more depth view about what we talked about today, please visit my website. Also, if you're interested in, one-on-one coaching, I am also available and have a little bit of capacity to help you with that. It's all on the website. Take a look, and thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you again soon.